Now, there are shows popping up, and there are fighters and new trainers and new promoters just about everywhere at the moment, everywhere you turn. Now, Derek Williams, once the Commonwealth champion at heavyweight, once the King of Beckham, still a London fighting enigma, trained by Angela Dundee at one time in Miami. He's back on the scene at a gym in Waterloo, the Soho Gym, as a small space for Sweet D to train his white-collar Keep Fit heroes. They're Keep Fit heroes. He's very, very determined to stress, and not keep fit, not white-collar boxers. He's also got a new kid, his secret heavyweight. I went over to see Derek earlier. His new fighter is called AJ Carter. He was not there at first. Derek is putting on a show with AJ Carter and 6 other fighters at the Tooting Leisure Centre on Sunday the 30th. The doors open at 1:30 and tickets start at 25 quid. Now, most tickets for cheap shows begin at 40 quid, so that's not bad at 25 quid. There are some 50 quid VIPs. I wanted to ask Derek about his return to promoting. I also wanted to ask him about AJ Carter, but I started by asking him to describe the surrounding. Here's Sweet D.
This is a fitness centre, Soho Gyms, and there's 6 Soho Gyms around London, but I'm quite close to some of the directors, so coming here over the years, I saw this space and we was able to negotiate putting a customised boxing ring in here because people love boxing for fitness. So I've been here now for almost 5 years, training people, customised rings.
Back to back,
white collar. Back to back. They haven't been competing. They're not fighting. They're not white collar fighters. It's
white collar boxers.
White collar training.
Right, opposed to boxers.
Yeah, but they're not fighting. But they train for the fitness. Yeah. And they're dedicated, and they're also boxing fans. So boxing has grown over the years, and I want to make sure it stays like that.
And what about the actual professional game? Because you're back in it now. You've got a promotion coming up. Tell me about that and what fighters you've got, what fighters you're surrounded with.
Okay, well, first of all, after retiring from boxing, I wasn't sure whether I was going to stay connected to boxing because I didn't see too many guys that really got my attention to get me excited. But over the last few years, I've been working with a young heavyweight, aka AJ Carter, because it's Alex Warren. So I saw what he could do. I see his potential. I see his commitment.
He's a big heavyweight,
he's a Tyson size.
Okay,
he's a Tyson size, so it's a reasonable size. He's a similar style and attitude. He's got a very colourful background, which you can talk to him about when you see him. But my whole excitement about him is that he wants to fight, and his excitement there, his hand speed and his movement. I don't usually get excited about other fighters, but I'm excited about this young guy.
Now, this guy's not been in the ABAs. You've kept him out of the ABAs. You've worked with him in here slowly.
Yeah, most of the other promoters who have television behind them, when boxers enter the ABA tournaments, they're able to grab hold of them and offering them all kind of deals. My whole thing is to spot the talent before they go into the ABA championships and keep them and groom them and then sign them.
Work with them, even if it's a year.
Even a year. So I've had AJ now for a year, working with him, grooming him, and perfecting his style, polishing him up and getting him ready. So now he's making his debut the 30th of September at Tooting Leisure Centre. And when I tell you that you're going to see something exciting, you're going to see it, to believe it.
Has he not got a bit bored with that year because he's had no competitive fights? Has it been hard balancing it? Have you had to take him places for sparring?
He's had good quality sparring. He's had the best sparring he could possibly get. He sparred with David Hay, and that was great sparring. He's also been in the ring with me. Julius France has been showing him things, so he's been getting competitive sparring and learning the game. But now he's hungry to fight, and now the time has come. And I think I've shown him what he needs to know for this stage of his career, and we can take it from there. The 30th of September, Britain's going to say, "Did you see that heavyweight?"
And he's 24, you say?
24.
With a lively past. We'll talk to him about that if and when he gets here. But though, have you found, though, that it's been harder and harder to find boxers that are not attached to the bigger promoters? A bit like footballers. They're all attached to a club now, 15-year-olds. It seems that the fighters are the same way, Derek.
Well, that's my angle, spotting guys early. Zab Judah was a young fighter that I recognised when he was a young amateur.
When you were working in America?
Fighting, yeah, I recognised him from then. And I said, this guy's going to be something. There's also Kasim Omar. Yeah. All these guys were young fighters that I recognised when they're young. And they've all come to light that they've become major champions.
Was this during your time in New York or down in Florida?
This was in New York and Florida. Judah, funny enough, I first saw him in New York, but he came to Florida where I was training. When I was finishing the end of my career, he turned pro with the Duvers and we was in the same camp. So we became close. So I recognised from the early stages that this guy's going to be something. That's proof of my knowledge of the game.
And that's also the way that it makes sense to grab them early. My only fear with that, Derek, and you know what I'm going to say, is that if you get them in the gym for a year, just sparring, just working on, they can get bored. They want to fight, don't they? That's why they're fighters.
Well, that's exactly right. But you see, if you let them out before, here's AJ, Yeah, if you let them out before too early, it can do more harm than good. So it's to groom them dedicated, get them dedicated, and let them learn that you got to hone your skills before you can go out there and use the tools.
In fact, AJ's just walked in. Why don't we ask him? AJ, Steve Bunce, BBC London. How are you, mate? We're just talking to Derek there, and I was saying that one of the problems with taking a kid outside of boxing is that he doesn't get to have competitive fights. Are you getting to that stage now where you want a proper fight? You want to fight?
I wanted to fight in the amateurs, but because of circumstances, I wasn't able to fight. So Derek obviously saw what I had and knew that if I'd have gone one way in amateur, then more people would have wanted to talk to me or whatever. So I like the best kept secret thing anyway.
Yeah, so your best kept secret, you've just been working with Derek here, but you're sparring with David Haye, which was, you know, for five bouts as an amateur. That's ridiculous. That's fantastic.
That's testament to what he can do, because you know, most guys who have 5 fights wouldn't go nowhere near the same room or the same town as a guy like David, because David is an amazing fighter. So the fact that he showed heart just to get in the ring alone.
How was that with David Haye?
It was good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. My time there, I think I learned a few things.
Sure.
What to do, what not to do.
He's a smart fighter, David, and he's smarter. He doesn't want people to think he's smart. He wants people to think he's a fool. You know, he wants people to think he's got no boxing brain.
What I think he tries to do is try to make people believe that he's scared.
Yeah, good point.
Whereas, obviously, he knows what he's doing.
He's fearless. Yeah, and people forget that with David. They see David and they see him smiling, good looking, all dressed up. They forget that where he came from and how he grew up. That's too easy for them. Where did you grow up? Where are you from?
From Brixton originally, but I grew up over West London as well, over North London, around Tottenham, Mozart. So all over.
You've been all over London like a cab driver. Not a mini cab driver on the side, are you, AJ?
No.
Listen, we'll let you get changed and get on, and we'll pick up in a few minutes, all right? So Derek, AJ's in your 7.5 foot by 8.5 foot ring here, tight little ring for a heavyweight. He's very fast, Derek. Very quick.
His speed is an amazing weapon. That's one of his major assets. His speed and his intensity. If you look in his eyes when he's fighting, he's like a tiger. He wants you. He's like he's hungry and he wants you. This customized ring is beneficial to him because he's learning to attack you in a small ring. When he gets into a bigger ring, he'll destroy guys.
Now, he does do a lot of Tyson-style stuff, and he's got the body shape to do Tyson-style stuff. You spent a lot of time with Tyson, so did you convert him, or when you first discovered him, was he already doing a bit of Tyson stuff?
No, you know the funny thing is, I was watching what he was doing, and when I saw him, he reminded me of Tyson because of his movement. So I was wondering, is that a guy that's fed up to start to be that Tyson, or is that natural? So I look at the way
a lot of fighters just try and look like Tyson now.
Yeah, exactly right. And I'm not fooled by that because I've been around too many years.
You've been in the ring with Tyson too many times.
So I know guys who put on a show and try to be Mike, but one of the worst things and damaging things in boxing is people that try to be someone else if they're not really that person. Like when Muhammad Ali came along, everyone started to drop their hands and try to be Muhammad Ali, get knocked out. You know, so it has to be you naturally. That has to be you. That has to be you. Your second nature. So with AJ, I realized that that's how he is all the time. It's not something that he does. His whole movement and style is set up. Genetically, it's just built like that. So. Yeah, and it suits him.
Now, on this show, September the 30th, you've got a selection of fighters on, but sort of unofficially, you're trying to make AJ the sort of top of the bill, or the main attraction, or a fighter that you'll come and never forget.
He's a fighter. You see, what I try to do there to generate interest and make the public get what they paid for is to put evenly matched fights that people see competitive fights. But one of the things I'm trying to do here is move AJ in a way that people recognise that they've paid money and seen something that they remember. If they've only been to boxing once, they want to come back again, or they'll say, I remember seeing that guy in this first fight, because that's the kind of vision I have for him.
And are you going to kit him out, Tyson, like tight black boots, or...?
No. We're not that road. No, I'm not trying to do this. So this is going to be for real, see, because one thing with professional boxing is that it's not just an entertainment show where you put on no gimmick or anything. This is real life with people with lives on the line, so you got to be your own person. So I don't want it to be a Mike Tyson the second or anything. I want it to be AJ the first. It so happened that he's got a similar style to Tyson, but he's going to be in his own right AJ Carter.
And that makes all the sense in the world, because there have been too many kids with cut down black boots, tight black shirts, no gowns, and then they're useless.
No, that's right. We don't want that. We see boxing, like I said, is real life. It's reality. It's not like a reality show. This is where someone's time. This is someone's life and livelihood. So, and if you want to fool the public, right, then I'm not going to be part of that. You know what I mean? 'Cause I'm a boxing fan.
AJ, just 1 second. You're up there in this ring, the smaller ring. Is it difficult working in a smaller ring than the big ring, or you just get used to it?
You just have to adapt. Same way you have to adapt to a fighter and different styles. You have to adapt to different rings. So.
Now you're in this very fancy gym here with all these running machines and step machines and ultra step machines and ultra step machines. Tell me you don't use them. Tell me you do it the old way.
I don't believe in none of that. You can only run on the road to get your real road work. From time to time I might use that climber, but other than that, that's on top of my road work.
Now you have got a lot of Tyson style moves and they are natural. It doesn't look like you've decided to fight that way. It looks like that's your way. But have you looked at a lot of Tyson fights, certainly the earlier ones when he was so hard to hit?
I've looked at a lot of Tyson tapes, Marvin Hagler tapes, a lot of the greats. But to me, it's logical to move your head when something's coming at your head.
It makes all the sense in the world.
See, that's what I'm saying. You know what I like about him? I don't have to tell him what to say. He knows. I mean, that question you ask him, anything you ask him, he can answer himself, and I won't feel embarrassed. I know he can represent himself. One thing I've got to try to get behind the British Boxing Board of Control to get a move on, because the Southern we went for his board meeting in the Southern area have recommended that he get his license to the British Boxing Board of Control. So now it's for them to say, yeah, boom, go ahead. So that's what we're waiting for now.
That shouldn't be a problem, should it?
No, it shouldn't be.
If they send someone down to look at him.
No, they've passed that stage. What they've done now is he's had a very colourful background,
yeah.
And that's what they've been looking into. Okay. You know, but for the last maybe 3 or 4 years, he's been like living clean and living good.
And is that gonna come back and bite him in the backside?
No, because we've revealed everything. I mean, it's small things that you know as a teenager getting into scuffles and different things. So he's had that. He's been down there, been there and done that. And now the most important thing is that he's on the straight and narrow, and he's going to be like a role model for other kids to look up. Listen, this is a bad way to go. We want to try to do something positive and constructive. Especially when you look at the society now, you've got too many kids who look at their way, following the wrong crowds, getting into gang, and we want to make AJ be someone to show people that that's not the way to go.
And especially with that past,
yeah,
it's got even more chance of making people listen, Derek.
It's the whole thing. They respect what you got. They see you do something positive, and they try to do it as well. You know, he's not a guy that was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. He's a guy that's working his way up, and with his dedication, sometimes you need a little bit of luck on your side, and hopefully everything comes together. All things equal, we're looking at our future champions.
You know, since your days in different gyms in Britain and different gyms in America, Derek, have you seen a lot of fighters that should have done better, and guys that have fallen by the wayside, have been lost?
Definitely some guys get caught up with the wrong. Listen, you can build a guy, and he can be dangerous to a guy if you make him believe that he's bigger than what he is really, and then he loses interest in training. He can drop off on the wayside, or some guys get caught up into the celebrity lifestyle and drop off, or they lose interest in the game, or they might get so sometimes, for whatever reason, some guys who you think should make it don't make it. My whole thing in the role as a manager in this capacity is to make sure that I keep a close relationship with the fighter, especially like AJ now. We stay close with home, so I know how he's feeling. The psychological side of things, that he might be feeling down and not feeling up to it. So I've got to make sure that I know where he is all the time.
With someone like him, has that been hard, weaning him even further away from the streets?
Not really, because he's dedicated. He's dedicated to training, and after you speak to him for a while, you realise that this guy knows what he wants, and he knows what he's got to do to get there. So I'm happy with the way he's working at the moment.
AJ, I get you one more time, and this is intentional. This is a training employee, because we're not going to let you catch your breath properly. We're going to keep talking to you. The way you're living now, you're living clean now. So you get yourself sorted out.
Yeah, definitely.
Has it been difficult moving away from your past to what's going to be your future?
It's difficult because whenever you give something up, you have to sacrifice. But I've got a goal that I want to head towards, and I'm not going to let anything stand in my way. So.
And you're 24 now, but in boxing years, you're still a baby. You understand that expression, don't you?
Yeah, but you know, if I got into it earlier, I wouldn't be the person I am today.
And do you think on the night at when you make your pro debut, do you think you're the sort of kid or the sort of man that might suffer from nerves, or the right kind of nerves, you know?
Well, you know, if you haven't got nerves, then, you know, you shouldn't fight, I don't think. You should probably be able to, the strength is to control your nerves and to be able to perform regardless.
Brilliant, carry on. That was Derek Williams talking to me earlier about his secret fight, and now we